You've seen them strutting down the sidewalk like they own the entire block. That long, low body, those stubby little legs moving at warp speed, that ridiculous, almost cartoonish silhouette that makes total strangers stop, point, and grin. You already know we're talking about the Dachshund, but here's the thing you might not realize. Behind that hot dog shape and those soulful eyes is a dog that is wildly, almost shockingly different from every other breed out there. We're not talking about surface-level quirks. We're talking about deep, hardwired traits that make this breed one of the most unique companions you could ever bring home. Stick with me all the way to the end, because the fifth one is the trait most new Dachshund owners never see coming, and it's the one that explains almost every weird, wonderful, frustrating, hilarious thing your wiener dog does. Let's get into it. Number 1. That iconic body was engineered for war underground. Let's start with the most obvious thing about your Dachshund, that long body and those short legs. You've probably heard people joke that Dachshunds look like a hot dog with feet, or that someone forgot to install the legs. But here's what most people don't know. Your Dachshund's body isn't a quirk. It isn't a cute accident. It is a piece of deliberate, centuries-old engineering, and it makes them completely different from almost every other dog you'll ever meet. Dachshunds were originally bred in Germany over 300 years ago to hunt badgers. Yes, badgers, those low-slung, vicious, surprisingly powerful creatures that live in tunnels underground. The name Dachshund literally translates to badger dog. When you understand this, your Dachshund's behavior suddenly makes a lot more sense. The way they burrow under your blankets every single night isn't them being cute, it's instinct. The way they explode at the doorbell with a bark that sounds like it belongs to a dog 3 times their size, instinct. The way they fixate on a squirrel hole in your backyard and refuse to leave it alone for 45 minutes, you guessed it, instinct. No other small breed carries this kind of underground hunting heritage in their DNA quite like the Dachshund. Number 2. They have a stubborn streak that will genuinely surprise you. Now let's talk about something every Dachshund owner learns within about 48 hours of bringing one home. These dogs are stubborn. And I don't mean cute, occasionally ignores you, eventually comes around stubborn. I mean genuinely, impressively, sometimes maddeningly stubborn in a way that sets them apart from almost every other small breed. Here's why. Most popular small dogs were bred to work closely with humans. Dachshunds were not. They had to be independent, they had to be confident, they had to trust their own judgment over anyone else's. And that trait did not magically disappear when we started keeping them as pets. So when you call your Dachshund and they look at you, calculate whether coming to you is worth their time, and then casually walk the other direction, that is not them being a bad dog. That is 300 years of selective breeding telling them their opinion matters just as much as yours. Training a Dachshund is a completely different experience. Dachshunds often want to negotiate with you. You'll find that traditional, repetition-based training often falls flat. What works is short, varied, high-reward sessions where your Dachshund feels like they're winning something. Treats help, patience helps more, and a sense of humor helps most of all, because there will be moments when your 15-pound dog absolutely refuses to walk past a leaf on the sidewalk, and you will have to decide whether to laugh or cry. Number 3. The bark. You'd think a dog the size of a loaf of bread would have a bark to match. You would be wrong. Dachshunds have one of the most distinctive, powerful, and frankly disproportionate barks in the entire dog world, and it's another thing that sets them dramatically apart from other small breeds. Compare your Dachshund to other dogs in their size range. A Chihuahua has a sharp, yappy bark. A Pomeranian has a high-pitched, almost squeaky bark. A Shih Tzu barks more in alert little bursts. Your Dachshund? Your Dachshund has a deep, full-chested, almost hound-like bay that sounds like it should be coming from a dog 4 times their size. That's because technically, Dachshunds are hounds. They're classified in the hound group, and they share vocal characteristics with much larger scent hounds like beagles and bloodhounds. That deep chest we talked about earlier acts like a built-in amplifier. And Dachshunds don't just bark, they communicate. You'll start to notice that your Dachshund has different barks for different situations. There's the "someone's at the door" bark, there's the "I see a squirrel and my entire purpose in life has just been activated" bark, there's the "you've been on that phone call for 20 minutes and I'm bored" bark, there's the "I'm dreaming about something incredible" bark that they do in their sleep. Owners of other breeds rarely talk about how vocal their dogs are. Dachshund owners talk about it constantly because living with a dachshund means living with a running, opinionated, full-volume commentary on everything happening in your home. Some people find it overwhelming. Other people, the ones who become true dachshund people, find it absolutely charming. Number 4. Their loyalty is almost unsettlingly intense. Here's something nobody really prepares you for when you get a dachshund: the bond. Other breeds love their families. Other breeds are loyal. Other breeds enjoy their humans. But dachshunds attach to their person in a way that is genuinely different, and it's one of the most defining traits of the breed. Dachshunds are famous for what owners and trainers call Velcro behavior. If you go to the kitchen, they go to the kitchen. If you go to the bathroom, they will absolutely follow you to the bathroom. If you sit down on the couch, they're not going to sit next to you. They're going to climb on top of you, burrow under a blanket, and press their entire body against you. Many breeds are happy to see you. Your dachshund acts like you've been gone for 6 years every time you come back from getting the mail. Part of this comes from their hunting heritage again. They were bred to work in tight partnership with one handler, often forming intense one-on-one bonds. That single human focus carried over into their pet behavior, and it's why dachshunds are sometimes described as one-person dogs. They might love your whole family, but there will almost always be one human they consider their human. That person gets the deepest stares, the most pillow time, the most dramatic reunions, and yes, the most jealous behavior when other people or pets try to claim their attention. You'll need to be aware of this if you have a multi-pet household or small children. Dachshunds can be wonderful family dogs, but they often need clear boundaries and gentle socialization to make sure their devotion doesn't tip over into possessiveness. Done right, though, the bond you'll share with a dachshund is something you'll talk about the rest of your life. They don't just live with you, they imprint on you. Number 5. They dig constantly, and it means something. This is the trait most new dachshund owners never expect, and it's the one that explains so much about how their dog moves through the world. Your dachshund is going to dig. Not occasionally, not when bored, constantly, and with a purpose that borders on spiritual. You'll see it everywhere. They'll dig at their bed before lying down, fluffing the blankets into a perfect tunnel shape. They'll dig at the couch cushions trying to create a den. They'll dig at your laundry pile, your garden, the dirt patch under your favorite tree, and yes, sometimes the carpet in the middle of your living room for absolutely no reason you can identify. Other breeds dig occasionally, terriers dig a fair amount too, but dachshunds dig with a focus and intensity that is hardwired in a way you really can't train out of them, and frankly, you shouldn't want to. Remember, this is a dog that was literally built to dig. Their entire job for centuries was to excavate their way into a badger's home. Those paddle-shaped front paws, that powerful chest, that low center of gravity, all of it was designed for moving dirt. When your dachshund is digging into a pile of pillows on your bed, they are doing exactly what their body was made to do. They are making a den. They are creating safety. They are expressing a piece of themselves that has been alive in this breed for hundreds of years. The smartest thing you can do as a dachshund owner is not to fight this trait, but to channel it. Give them blankets they're allowed to burrow into. Set up a designated digging spot in your yard if you have one, maybe a sandbox they can excavate to their heart's content. Buy snuffle mats and dig boxes filled with hidden treats. When you give your dachshund appropriate ways to dig and burrow, you will see a dog that is more relaxed, more fulfilled, and far less likely to redecorate your sofa. This single piece of understanding will transform your relationship with your dog more than almost anything else you can do, because it shows them that you see who they truly are. So, there you have it. Once you understand these 5 traits, you stop seeing your dachshund as a quirky, weirdly shaped dog with a lot of personality. You start seeing them for what they really are: a small, brave, opinionated, deeply loving hunting hound that decided somewhere along the way that you were worth following out of the tunnel and onto the couch. If this video helped you understand your dachshund a little better, or if it convinced you that this is the breed for you, smash that like button and let me know. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next deep dive into another incredible breed. And tell me in the comments, what is the most dachshund thing your dachshund has ever done? I'll see you in the next one.